committed that you are. Because you could be motivated and not committed. So tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, and not committed. All right, we're good here on YouTube. iPhone says 10. Kian says 3. Anthony says 8. House says 10. Okay. Everyone's mic is muted. I muted everyone's. Kanetta says 10. Let's see. Let me share my screen. Got that. Okay, I see. Kanetta says, I'm over my job, so ready to quit. I totally understand that. I've been in that mindset. Kiana says, I just want to get more information first. That's fair. That is very fair and understandable. Okay, if you are ready to get started, go ahead and comment ready. If you can see my screen, can you go ahead and put a 1 in the chat? If you can see my screen, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. Make sure YouTube is good. All right, we good, YouTube? All right, let me let you in. Okay, everyone can see my screen, so we're good. Let's do that. And then let me bring up the chat as well. Okay, let's get started. Welcome everyone to my free medical career masterclass. In the next 60 to 90 minutes or more, you're going to learn how to land medical career contracts and scale your business. A couple of housekeeping rules. I just want to make sure I put this disclaimer out. I do this every week. I am the only Leela_Brown. I am Leela_Brown on TikTok, on YouTube, on Pinterest. Where else? I think I said everything. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest. But I am Leela_Brown everywhere. So you might have gotten a couple of messages from someone that looks similar or name is similar to mine, but it is not me. Please, when you approach these pages or these pages approach you, I need you to report them for impersonation. And then I also need you to block them. It is not me. The scamming pages are real. But just getting that disclaimer out the way. This is not a get rich quick type of class, type of scheme. I have to be very transparent. You must put in action. You must be consistent and committed. It's because that is the only way you're going to see the results. If you think that you're just going to show up a couple of days out of the week, apply for a couple of contracts, and then you're going to be making $500 to $600 a day, this is not the class for you. We put in lots of effort and lots of action. So this is why I like to make sure I put the disclaimer out there that you must be consistent and committed. Committed. Go ahead and comment committed in the chat. Also, make sure that you have a pen and paper because I will be giving you some lead lists. I will be giving you strategy and tips that you can take away from this class and start to take action come tonight and or tomorrow, come Monday morning. So make sure you cancel out all distractions. Last but not least, share the Zoom link with at least 2 people that need this type of information. Someone who might have lost their job, someone who may need some extra money. Share this out with at least 2 friends and family. Now, before I start, I like to teach people or at least share with people the method. But I want to also show you real life people who are actually doing it so you can get motivated and get inspired to do the exact same. So one of my students that is inside of my community, her name is Maureen. Maureen started and joined the community, and within 1 month, within 30 days, she was able to land her first contract, and it yielded her $1,800 per week from just one contract. If you know me, you know that I am all about stacking. That means in order for you to make the maximized amount of money you want to make, is that you need to be able to stack. That means stacking medical courier contracts as well as apps. But for Marine, she landed her first contract, so she's on her way to an easily $2,000 to $3,000 per week, especially once she adds on a second or even a third contract. Go ahead and congratulate Marine inside of the chat. Now, my goal for you all today is to show you how to turn 2 to 3 medical certifications into your own profitable medical courier lab business and scale this to 100K plus per year without having to wait a long time to see results. I've seen results, as well as even my students have seen results within the first couple of weeks of taking action without needing a whole lot of startup money or any startup monies. Because if you're starting with your car, you already have a smartphone, you already have personal car insurance, then you can start with as little as $0. And the greatest part is you do not need a medical degree. That means no nursing degree. That means no doctoring degree. That means not going to school for the next several years. Nope. All you need to do is commit at least 60 minutes per day. And that is how you're going to typically land 100K plus per year within the medical courier and courier industry. Now, the strategies and methods that you're about to discover are the exact same strategies and methods that helped me land my first several contracts and making consistently 8,500 plus per month. Now, before we get into it, I want to share with you a couple of different types of contracts. So the first types of contracts, and this was my bread and butter, it is on-demand contracts. As you see right here, one of my students, Derek, he landed an on-demand contract. So what it is an on-demand contract means that companies will call you to work in order for, to run the routes, whether it is for a day, a week. That is on-demand contracts. I liked on-demand contracts is because it allowed me to still run my current business. Me and my husband, we have a couple of different businesses that we are currently still running. So I needed that flexibility. Then there is another type of contract. They're more hourly rate plus mileage reimbursement. So typically that is more of a consistent, committed contract, meaning they want you here every single day from 9 to 5 running routes. And while that is not terrible, I just need you to understand the types of contracts that is out there so you can better navigate the ones that you would work best for you. For me, when I first got started, I just wanted anything. And that is should be everyone's goal here is to first just land their first couple contracts, start working. And from there, then you can decide if you want to focus more on demand, hourly rate, or even the third way. The third way is some companies will partner with you and they'll do a 60-40 split, 60% you, 40% goes to them, or a 70-30 split. It just all depends. I tell everyone just apply because a lot of times you don't know how that company is going to be hiring you until you get hired. A lot of times they won't say on demand or hourly. Sometimes, but for you all, you should be applying for everything. And make sure that you stay to the end because as a bonus, I'm giving everyone a mini lead list. This is a mini lead list nationwide. This is for opportunities that will be all over the USA. And it will be an offer for you to continue rocking with me, especially if you are going after contracts in your business name. Now, my medical courier contracting journey started in 2021 during the pandemic. Now, I did not take it serious until 2022. Initially, all I did is deliver medical courier specimens and supplies. What you see right here are the green and blue bags. Inside of these bags were blood valves. And all I did was go to one clinic, one hospital until the next. Then over here, this was considered the medical supplies. A lot of times they'll just give us bags. They're generally not in a green or blue bag, but ultimately that is all that I did. I was doing medical courier throughout Southern California, and that is how I was able to make my 8,500 plus a month by able to deliver medical courier and medical specimen, medical supply contracts. Now, I like to tell people contracts saved my business. So in 2021, me and my husband opened up an event studio. This is where people can host their own baby showers, their own birthday parties, their own pop-ups, whatever it is that they want to host. We opened up an event studio in 2021. Now, how a lot of you all have opened up businesses, but you may not have the credit, you may not have the loans, you may not have none of that. I didn't have that, especially because I was a new business and I was still growing. So my goal was to be able to generate some type of extra income so I can pay for the piping and draping for the event studio, the tables, the chairs, the decorations, the TVs, the uplights, everything that we need for a functioning event space. I wanted to get everything I needed without having to depend on the loans. So this is where a medical courier came in at. So I initially started driving as a medical courier just so I can be able to fulfill, or excuse me, fill my event studio with all the supplies it needed. And that is exactly what I did. Everything that I was making, I was able to fund my event studio in full, and I want to allow other people how they can be able to do the same thing. Now, granted, I understand you might like tell me in the chat, what is your goal when you are getting a contract? Is it to, invest in your current business or a new business? Is it to pay bills? I get that. What is your goal? Is it to, go on another vacation or extra vacation this year? In the chat, tell me what is your goal when you are going down this medical courier and courier industry. Norma says buy a house. Yes, I love that. Eric says scale. Who else? Invest in my catering business. I want a food truck. Yana says that's so awesome. Supplemental retirement income. Kwan, invest into my enterprise. Glad to see you, Kwan. David, invest and pay down debt. Leave teaching. What else? Financial freedom. All of these are wonderful answers. So you all have a goal or what you want to do with your income within the medical courier industry. But for me, medical courier saved my business. Because remember, I started during the pandemic. A lot of people was like, you're creating and starting a business during this time. And I was like, yes. And it has been very successful. There's been good days, bad weeks, and me and my husband still have the event studio to this day. So why should you start landing medical courier contracts? So right here, I have a graph that shares with you the flow of the medical courier industry starting from 2023 all the way to 2033. As you can see, 5.9, it stands for billion. It shows the growth within the medical courier industry. This is why I tell people that medical courier transportation, anything like that, is going to be the most recession-proof business that you can start right now, is because there is always going to be a need. Even when I started it in 2021/2022. And then also you have to understand that there is different, well, I would say this, medical courier is an umbrella. So you can deliver other items under medical courier. And as you can see in this graph, the different colors points to those different items that you can deliver. So we have medical supplies, lab specimens. Those were the top two types of contracts that I was delivering under medical courier. Then you can also get routes that can transport x-rays, prescription drugs, blood and organs, as well as medical notes. So just remember, and you do not have to, only just do medical specimens. The goal, or at least my goal, is to put as much as you can in your car and deliver as much as you can, as long as it's not food or people, because I came from Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart. That is my motto. So you should be open to all type of medical contracts. This is why I tell everyone you can get a contract. Everyone can get a contract. And remember, this medical career with our car should always be a stepping stone. You are not going to be able to grow to your full potential if you are not doing it one of two things, which is investing into a bigger vehicle like Tanya right here. She started off with just her car, and then she bought a cargo van within a couple of months. And her first contract, she was able to secure for $800 to $1,000 a week. Now, remember, I'm always talking about stacking. This is how you're going to make your money. You're not going to make two, three, four, five, or $600 days if you're just focusing on one contract. You have to have more than one. And in order to do that, you need to do two things. Have a bigger vehicle and or have a business where you can get multiple contracts in your business name and hire individuals to run these routes on your behalf. Now, right now, I want to show you, can I show you how I made my first $100,000 with the medical courier contracts as a new business owner? So this is going to be my three-step strategy to secure contracts. Now, I have to put this disclaimer out here. Do not overthink this. This is very simple. A lot of times I've tried so many businesses. Like I came from entrepreneur parents. So me, like my first job was the business that my mom and dad had, which was a bakery. So I had a mobile catering service. So I need you to understand is that I've done a lot and there is some struggle. But with medical courier, it is low key easy. The hardest part is showing up every single day when you do not see any results. So meet Michelle. Michelle started within my community about 6 months ago, and she was consistent. She had some health issues going on, but she did not let that stop her. When I tell you, Michelle, I just spoke to her over just last week. She just have just under 10 contracts. She was consistent. But a lot of people don't understand, in order for you to get these type of contracts, you need to first structure your business. Now, keep in mind, if you are getting contracts with your car, there is a slightly different avenue that you're going to take if you are going to get contracts in your business name. I'm going to share with you both because the goal is for you to make the now money with your car, but also be working on that business side so you can get out of the car and you can scale your business. Now, the strategies for your car. When you're wanting to land your first contract, you need to make sure that you present yourself as much as you can with the experience. Now, honestly, I know some people will say you don't need experience. Heck, I'll tell you you don't need experience, but you want to put some experience on your resume just because it is a lot of different other individuals wanting the same position as you. So you want to make sure that you are updating your resume with at least a current position with some type of medical career experience, or a previous job that you've worked that's on your resume that has some type of medical career and career experience. For me, I technically did not have medical career. I had courier, I had independent contracting because I had did Uber, Lyft, DoorDash for several years, Instacart. Like I've done it all as far as apps during 2018, excuse me, no, 2017, all the way up into me landing my medical career contracts. So I use that experience. So do not go out here and create a brand new resume with a bunch of medical career experience or career experience. All you need to do is update your resume to reflect recent experience. So in the chat, tell me if you have experience. You can put experience in the chat, or you could just put none in the chat because you don't have any experience. Because I want to share with you how even if you think you may not have experience, like Maria, like Rashida, like Julie, who else? I see you all experience. So for the people who do not have experience, I'm here to share with you how we're going to use what we already have experience with in our past to put in on our resume. So what I tell everyone is, how many people in the chat, you could just comment me in the chat if you have, taken a loved one, a parent, a partner, a child to the doctor, to the dentist. If you say me, yes, then you have medical career experience. How many people in the chat have, went to the pharmacy and picked up a prescription and filled it? Then you have medical career experience. How many people who have delivered food to a loved one, to a friend? Then that is courier experience. We're going to use Chat GPT. You can use the free 99 version of Chat GPT in order to update your resume. I use Canva in order to host the resume and the document. But then I use Chat GPT in order to organize my thoughts, my statements, and everything so it looks very, very, very well on that resume. iPhone says I drive for drop off. Awesome. Then you can put that on your resume. So that is the first step, is getting your getting your resume up to date. Once you have done that, the next thing is you must get certified. Now, for me, in the beginning, I was going to get certified, but because I'm more so wanting to land the contract, figure out what it is that they need. I understand that they needed this certification, but I waited and I found a company that paid me to get certified. Yes, paid me to get certified. That means once I got hired, they paid me and then they turned around and allowed me to take the HIPAA and bloodborne certification under them. So I understand that that may not be everyone else's experience. But if you're like, I might want to stick around and see if the company that I'm going to get hired for hire me and then pay for certification. If not, you can get that certification and get certified the same day. When I say it took me less than a couple of hours to get this certification, I was in there. Keep in mind that some other types of contracts will require you to have additional certification. The only ones I want you all to focus on is the HIPAA and blood-borne pathogen. Now, you do have some contracts that's going to require a TWIC, a TSA certification, but keep in mind, if that contract does not require that, you will not need that. So be mindful before you just go out here and start paying for a bunch of certifications. Because my motto is to make money before I start to spend money as much as I can. In the chat, tell me if you are certified. Tell me if you are certified in the chat with at least your HIPAA and blood-borne pathogen. Patrice says, I got TWIC. Awesome. Awesome. Gina has HIPAA. Denise is certified in both. Francis, I am. Eric is both. Awesome. And for everyone that is not certified, I will give you a checklist at the end. And in that checklist, it'll share with you what sites where you can go ahead and get that HIPAA and bloodborne pathogen certification today so you can start applying immediately. OJ has HIPAA, bloodborne TWIC. Who else? Talib's is HIPAA, bloodborne, and TWIC. Awesome. So most of you all have step 1 completed. Now keep in mind, I have to put this disclaimer before we start talking about the business side. There will be companies when you go apply with using your vehicle that is going to require you to submit your business information. So when the companies require that and you don't have it, then you need to pass it along. But I like for you all to have that because it opens up yourself to more opportunities. If you only focus on opportunities for just your car and not your business, it could be a smaller box. But if you're having your business set up, your LLC, your EIN, your business bank account, then you open yourself up to more opportunity. Remember, the more opportunity you have, the more money that you're going to be making. Because if you're just focusing on over here and you might not be getting that many opportunities to choose from, then you might be forced to take things that you don't want to take. So this is why I want you to have a huge pool so you can be able to cherry pick. I like this. I don't like that. I like this. And that is where you're able to see more when you are on both sides, the car and having your business name. Now keep in mind, even though when you have your entity set up, you're still using your car. You're still using your car. It's just how you are going to get hired. They're going to want you to not use your social. Sometimes they're going to want you to use your EIN. If they request one over the other, you give them that. If you don't have it, you move on. So everyone, if you are now wanting to focus more on getting contracts in your business name, if you want to be able to hire people, companies, excuse me, you want to work with companies and then hire people to drive, you are going to have your entity set up. And these are a couple of things that you're going to need. I'll go over more at the end of the class, but I want to get through here the meat and potatoes of everything. So that is step one. Step two is you need to locate where you're going to find these opportunities. Now, with the business side, getting medical courier contracts in your business, you have opportunities on a private level, on a government level, on a corporate, state, county, as well as city. There is a lot of opportunity on the business side, and in my opinion, it's more, a lot more. With the car, you are only searching in your area. And then remember, with the car, you're the only one driving. That means if you do not turn on that car, you're not going to make some money. This is why I want you to be eventually thinking about doing the business side. Now, for everyone that wants to get started with their car to be able to make that now money, you're going to look on these 5 sites. Actually, it's 6. But the top is going to be Indeed.com. Indeed and ZipRecruiter is where I found 80 to 85% of all the contracts that I've worked. CB Drivers next, the CLDA, as well as Craigslist. Also, don't sleep on Google. A lot of times I found a lot of partnering companies on Google that was not on these sites. So this is why I said it's not 5, it's actually 6, because you don't want to sleep on Google. Next, when you are applying, you need to make sure that you are aware of some keywords, because when you are on Indeed, ZipRecruiter, and all the other sites, you want to be able to pull the contracts that you want to apply for. Because remember, it is going to be a numbers game. You need to apply and apply a lot for only the ones that you qualify for. So these are some keywords. You also have 1099, you have delivery driver, you have lab. These are other keywords that you are going to be putting into the search engine in order to find these contracts. Now, in the chat, I want you to comment your city and state, because we're going to do some live examples in searching. So once you leave this class, you'll know exactly what to do. So put in the chat your city and your state. And then I'm going to grab someone and we're going to do a live example. Okay, so let me look through here. Let's do Baltimore, Maryland, Denise. Let's do Baltimore, Maryland. Now, mind you, I think I should have put Maryland first. Oopsie, I'm not spelling that right. Oh yeah, I'm not spelling that right. Okay, so this is going to be the exact same way you search for no matter what state. Let me see, no matter what area. I generally don't like to put the whole state. I like to put the city and then as well as the state. Then I like to put the keyword in, which is going to be medical courier. The next thing I like to do is I like to open up my distance from 35 miles to 100 miles. Why? It's because when I was doing Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, I had already known that the money was not where I was at. The money was not where I was at. Now, I stay in Riverside to be exact. That's about an hour and a half from Los Angeles. I knew that when I was Ubering and Lyfting, I would go into Los Angeles. I would go into Orange County, San Diego. These are surrounding cities and counties. I knew that that's where the more the money it was. So I took that same knowledge and applied it to medical courier. I also knew this is because when I was applying for things that was right outside of my backyard at 35 miles, I was not getting the opportunities that I wanted. I wasn't getting the right price point. I was getting opportunities that was like $15 an hour. I'm in Southern California. I can't survive off of $15 an hour. So it was like 15 plus a mileage reimbursement of like 30 cents. You can get better than that. And I did. I was finding opportunities when I opened this up from 35 to 100 miles. I was in opportunities that was more on the 18, 19, 20, even as high as $26 per hour with a mileage reimbursement of about 50 to 60 cents. This is very important. If you're like, oh my goodness, I have to drive that much, then this is not for you. You should just go straight to the business side. It's because you're like, I don't want to have to drive, but you must be open to driving. So this is why I open up the 100 miles so I can be able to see so much more opportunities. Now you're going to go through here, assuming that you already have uploaded your resume, because we did in step one. You're going to upload your resume to Indeed, to ZipRecruiter, so you are applying very easily. It should only take you 60 seconds, max 2 minutes to apply for one opportunity. So you're going to go through here, apply. Now, if it tells you to apply on a company site, I don't do that. I don't spend time 20, 30 minutes applying on the site. Nope. If I can apply right on Indeed and it takes a couple of minutes, then I'm not doing it. That's just me. You can do it if you want to, but don't waste your time. Because I always feel like this is a time waster applying on the company site just for them not to reach out to you. So go ahead and apply straight through Indeed. Now you're going to apply for everything except anything that is talking about delivering packages to where you're putting in 200 or 300 packages in your car and you're going to different houses and different apartments and picking up, excuse me, not picking up, dropping off these packages and going to the next location. I don't do that. You can, but I like to be very transparent. I'm not going to suggest you to do anything I don't want to do. You can. I have plenty of students land their first couple of contracts and they do those package deliveries because they want to. It is up to you. But I'm not hopping in and out of my car 300 times a day. Nah, I don't care. I don't care if they pay me $10 per stop. I'm still not doing that. I'd rather make my money in lesser stops and be able to be done in less time. So that is the only thing that you do not apply for. If you see something and the price isn't right, still apply. It's because remember, after you get hired, then it is the time for you to negotiate the routes, or even during the interview, how much you want to get paid. Say that. I say that is because I have landed more contracts by just opening my mouth. I've added more money to my contract by pitching, saying, "Oh, I was actually looking for this." You'll be surprised of what you can get when you ask. So ask them. Just apply. Apply, apply, apply. You're going to go through here and apply for everything on page 2, 3, 4, and 5 before you move on to the next keyword. That is the goal. I don't want to hear, oh, I've been applying and I'm not receiving anything. The first thing I'm going to ask you, how much are you applying for every day? I'm going to also ask you, are you constantly showing up every single day? It's because you cannot expect these companies to reach out to say, hey, can you drive this contract if they don't even know that you're available? This is why I like to get in front of as many people as I can on a daily basis. That's how I am maximizing the amount of different opportunities that come to me because I'm always putting out leads or applying in this case. So you're going to, before you move on to the next keyword, you apply for everything. Then you'll move on to courier. Then you'll move on to 1099. Then you move on to delivery driver. You are not, come on, computer, to move on to the next site until you exhaust all of the keywords. So this is why a lot of times people would tell me, I've been applying, you should be applying for everything in a 100-mile radius under all of these keywords and then go to the next site. Remember, we have 6 sites that we're working on. All right, cool. The next thing we're going to talk about, well, we already talked about opening up our mileage. This is why I tell everyone, You can get results. You can get fast results if you take the action. Randy joined. Randy is on like his fifth contract. When I tell you he landed his first contract within 30 days, actually it was less than that. It was about 2 weeks. It's because he was consistent. He was consistent and he was committed. Comment I'm next in the chat. The next thing that we need to focus on is how much you are putting out every single day. If you're saying, oh, I apply for 3 to 5 opportunities a day, I promise you, you will not get a contract. I promise you. If you tell me you apply for 10 every few days or so, you're not going to get a contract. Well, I won't say that because there's a chance you're going to get a contract. But the chance of you not getting is higher is because this is a numbers game, people. If you, and this is not just with this is with anything. If you want to see results, you're going to have to put a lot of output. So this is the same thing with me. I told myself that I was going to commit at least 25 a day. I was going to look in the morning and I was going to look in the afternoon or night. I was going to turn on my notifications, and that is exactly what I did. Now, around the fourth day of doing this, I was like, where are these results at? And I was like, get it together. Just like a lot of you all on the call, you want to see fast results. And I wanted to see them as well, but that wasn't the case. I was like, you need to show up and do even when there is no results. Around the seventh or eighth day of applying for at least 25 every single day, I landed my first contract. Did I like it? No. This is why I tell everyone, even when you are applying and you are landing a contract, don't stop applying. You never know when that next high paying contract is going to come. My next high paying contract, or my first one, came around 3 contracts. The first ones I received, I got hired. I didn't even work them. I just got hired. I was like, nah, I'm gonna keep them on the back burner, but I don't know if this is gonna be it because I'm looking for better opportunity. I received that. So you must be applying for at least 25 a day. Then after our first week, and I was able to see results, I was like, let's up it up. I have a bit of addicting personality. When I like something, when I want to do something and I'm committed, I'm going to sit there and beat it to the ground. That's what I did. So the second week, I was like, oh, we're applying for 40 to 50. I was showing up. Mind you, this is still, it's going to require you less than 60 minutes a day. It's not going to take you long. But you need to be making sure that you show up in the morning and you show up in the afternoon. Why? It's because great opportunities, let alone opportunities, but great ones, they come and they go pretty fast. So when I was first applying, I was coming out of doing Uber and Lyft because during the pandemic, or right when the pandemic started, Uber and Lyft declined. Nobody wanted to be in the car with anyone, and it wasn't enough room for social distancing. So when that happened, I was looking, of course, for medical courier in order to grow my business as well. And I was having some friends that we all did Uber, Lyft, and stuff. So I was sharing opportunities with them. I was like, look, go apply with this company. They said that they hired and need multiple drivers. So one in particular company that I was sharing with one of my friends, they could not find it after I shared it with them. They was like, I can't find it anywhere. And do you know why? It's because it was gone within 24 hours. And this is why I say if you're not showing up daily, then you can miss an opportunity because once they reach their limit, on their application list of individuals, they're going to take it down. Sometimes they don't take it down, but most of the times they take it down. And if you're only showing up here and there 1 to 3 times, 1 or 2 times a week, you're not going to get the contracts. This is why I tell everyone that this is easy. The hard part is committing when you don't even see the results just yet. The results is going to come because I'm telling you, every week I was getting interviews, interviews, interviews. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is all from just showing up every single day. A lot of you all will say, oh, they'll have vans and they'll have box trucks that they want. There's no opportunities. Yes, there is because they have vans and box trucks when I was applying, when I was first applying. And I'm going to give you another one. When I was doing it, this is during the pandemic, so they was requiring us to get that jab, get the vaccine. I've never been vaccinated and I was not going to start. So there was plenty of opportunities out there that was like, oh no, you need to get the vaccine. I passed them up. Remember, it is a numbers game. So I had that against me. I had cargo vans and I still landed multiple contracts on a consistent basis. The only reason why we're spending so much time on here is because this is where you see the results as a by applying. Nobody knows that you have a vehicle, you don't have anything. So, what is your goal? How many are you going to be committing a day? How many are you going to be applying for per day? And keep in mind, at the end of the class, I will give you all a mini lead list that you're going to be able to take and start applying with other companies in addition to everything else that we learned in this class, in addition to everything else. This right here will help you. Eric says 40 plus a day. Mark says 30 plus. Denise says 25 to 30. What else? Who else? Who else? Anthony says 100 a day. Child, are you going to commit to 100? Kiana says 25 to 30. All right, I got you. That's cool. Who else? Eric says I'm applying right now. Well, since you're applying right now, let's all apply right now. Now, remember I told you I have a mini lead list. I'm taking one of the opportunities that is on that mini lead list, and we're going to apply right now. George says I can do 30 to 35. Yes. So right now we're going to apply with one of the companies that is from my lead list, my mini lead list. Now let's go ahead and go into Google, and you're going to put in medical couriers with an S on the end. Is this capable even working a 9 to 5? Yes, it is, but you will have to still apply and find opportunities that is going to be in the afternoon, at night, overnight, on the weekend. But yes. So medical couriers, the first one that should come up is right here, medical couriers with an S on the end. Let's click it. Most of the time, for you to apply is usually at the header or at the footer, which is at the bottom of the page. Right here, it says it right plain and clear, become a driver. You're going to click there and we're going to fill this out. We're going to fill this out right now, not tomorrow, not tonight, right now. We're going to take 60 seconds because remember, it does not take long to apply with these companies. They don't need to know, they don't want to know all that much information. The greatest thing they want is your name, your address, your email, your phone number, the city and state that you are located in, your age, your expected pay, when you're available, and then your skills. It's very straightforward. I want you all to apply right now. Now, the reason why I gave you the mini lead list and the reason why we're doing one of them right now is because these are nationwide opportunities. That means no matter what state you're in, they have opportunities all over the USA. So you want to sign up with not just companies that is in your state, but also nationwide, is because that means more opportunity for you to choose from. When you have completed this, comment done in the chat. Norma says Puerto Rico is not listed. Still apply. Still apply. You will be surprised. Even if it's not, it doesn't mean it's totally that they don't have it because they might not have updated their website. But still apply. Let these people tell you no. And that goes for anyone that may have something on their driving history, on their record. Just apply. Let these companies tell you no, because we'll get into the whole mindset of they're gonna say no. Like you disqualified yourself all the way from in the beginning. When I've seen some companies will overlook certain things. Some companies was like, oh, we do have an opportunity that we didn't post it. I say just apply for everything. What's a PR address? I'm not familiar with that. What to put on specialized skills? Your HIPAA, your bloodborne pathogen. Put that. If you had the TWIC, put that. If you have the TSA certification, put that. The address you're going to put into Google, you're going to go into Google and you're going to put in medical couriers with an S on the end. The first company that comes up after sponsored is going to be the site that we need to go on, which is this. And then we're going to go here to become a driver in order for you to fill this out. Norma says a Puerto Rico address. Okay. I'm not familiar how that is set up. So if you are If you are in an area like in Puerto Rico that you feel that they may not accept you, then I would just move on to the next. And if you are finding that that is the like consistent pattern, then I suggest that you most definitely start the business side. When you start the business side and you register with some of these different sites, then you're able to go after other contracts in different states. Even though you're in Puerto Rico, you can still go after contracts in California and Texas and then just hire the drivers within. So if you're trying to drive yourself in Puerto Rico and you don't have any opportunities, or they don't service you, then you most definitely should be starting the business side. Expected pay. I generally like to put around 150 to $2 per mile, or you can put a flat fee. I don't like putting the flat fees because I don't know what like how many stops, how many miles is included. To be like, I'll accept $200 a day. They might work you too much and that's not worth it. So what I like to do is I like to put per mile. $1 per mile is acceptable, but I would like to do $1.50 to $2 was what I like to get. And remember, I always like to go higher. I'll accept $1, but I'm not putting $1 on here. So put anywhere from $1.50 on up. Congratulations, Denise is done. See, just like that. 2 minutes. The goal is for you to do this at least 25 to 40 times a day. 25 to 40 times a day. What do you list for the specialized skills if you don't have the HIPAA and bloodborne pathogen? Still put the HIPAA and bloodborne pathogen because you're getting that tonight. I'm going to give you a list where you can go out there and get your HIPAA and bloodborne the same day. Put it on there even if you don't have it because you're about to get it. Because remember, it only takes a couple of hours, if that, and you get it the same day. Norma says, I guess I need to look at the business side. Yes. And then, and also, to be totally 100, there's way more opportunity on the business side. And it pays better because you are now operating at a business level, not an individual in a car level. From my experience, I've seen just as much opportunity, even more on the business side. And I was very successful on the car side. Ascaria says, who am I referred by? Just leave it, put NA. All right, so let's move on. Now, just as a recap, you're going to be applying for 25 to 40 a day. So if one keyword and you've only did 25 a day, you do not move on to the next keyword until you go ahead and complete everything on this page. All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the greatest thing about Indeed, once you apply, it'll say under here, apply. So you don't have to double apply. All right, cool, cool, cool. Let's keep it pushing because we're almost done. Step 3 is stacking. Step 3 is this is how I turn a $200 day to a $300 or $400 day. A $300 or $400 day. Awesome, Eric, Rashida, David. This is how I turn a $300 to $400 day to a $500 or $600 day. It does not matter if you are stacking other medical courier or courier contracts or apps. It does not matter. But right now, we're going to focus on apps just because remember, once you get a contract, you're still going to apply. I don't care if you have to quit that job in 2 weeks to go to another one. Just make sure you do a job well done. But I'm not committed 1000% to only work for you forever. If it does not work for me and I find somewhere else, I'm going to quit. And I need you to have that same mindset. Once you land that first contract, continue applying. Once you land that first app, get more apps. Get more. The goal is for you to have at least 2 to 3 apps. Why? Is because when you have, let's say you have dead time. Let's say you getting off from work and it's 5 or 6 o'clock and you don't have a route, then you can turn on these apps. When you turn on the apps, they'll show you if there's any opportunity in your area. This is how I'm able to maximize. So when I had my contracts and I was getting that $8,500 plus per month, I had 1 or 2 main medical courier routes, 1 to 2. Then I had 3 apps. The goal for you all to have at least 2 apps that is on your roster, at least 2. But if you can get 3, it's the best because you want to be able to turn on all 3 apps and then cherry pick the best ones. You do not want to just depend on one app, because also when you move locations, one app may pop over the other one. So this is why I like to have more than one app. So here are some apps that I have shared with you. Screenshot, do what you need to do in order to grab these. I want you to apply for with these companies. Now keep in mind, some of these companies that you see right here won't resemble an app. You won't be able to go to your app store, put in Runrail and apply. No, a lot of them or some of them will have you apply first on the website. Once you get hired, get a username and a password, then they'll let you get onto the app side. Then there's other apps that is just straight. You go ahead and sign up on your phone on the app, and then that is how you apply. I want you to keep in mind that to do both. We don't want to keep one out of the other. Like, we want to do both. Now, your goal is to sign up for as many as you can that is in your area or areas or states. Now, let's apply. Eric says airspace is quick. Yes, some people will tell me airspace sucks. Some people will tell me they can't get in response to them. Just know that one person's experience is not the next. Is because airspace and these companies are going to be located all over the USA. Sometimes they have a lot of opportunities in your state, and the next one may not be it. So just know that if someone's telling you don't do it, because I've heard good and bad things about airspace, but I still promote it. It's because it's worth a try. The worst that can happen is you don't like what it is that they're offering. And also, always, always make sure when you get these apps, before you start accepting anything, turn them on all throughout the day. Early morning, midday, mid-afternoon, night. Is because all of them is going to have a pattern. You want to see when they drop, let's say, the big money, the bigger contracts. You want to see when is the dead time. So therefore, you can schedule based off on the apps. Is because yes, you can do this whenever. The question is there going to be stuff available whenever? So even with me, like for example, when I used to do Instacart, I used to get started at Instacart at 8, 9, 10 a.m. because that's just what I wanted to start. I made my few $100 a day, but then I bumped into someone that was telling me that they start at 6 o'clock in the morning. And that is where the big loads drop. So you know what I did the very next morning? I got up, I turned on the app at 6 a.m. and I didn't accept nothing. I just wanted to see the flow. Well, when I started at 8, 9, 10 a.m., I did not see those larger type of opportunities that was dropping at 6 and 7 a.m. Because remember, some people is early birds. They want to get their stuff and gone. They're not here after 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock. So just understand, no matter what app you're on, you want to see their flow. So therefore, you can better figure out how it's going to work for you. All right. So next is we're going to apply for another company. We're going to apply for Runrail. So in the chat, excuse me, not in the chat, go to Google. You're going to put in Runrail, press enter. And the first one, Runrail. Then we're going to click right here where it says become a partner. Excuse me, become a partner. And then click here, grow with us. And then we're going to fill this out right now. When you have completed it, I want you to comment done. I want you to comment done in the chat. So keep in mind that, remember I told you some companies is going to require you to sign up and deliver, and it's you using, let's say, your name and your social security to sign up, social security number. Other companies is going to require your business information. This is an example of a company wanting your business information. Why? First name, last name, company, business, email. That's giving business. So this is where you will put your business information. So if you have that LLC, that EIN, that business bank account, then you should be applying with Runrail. Remember, I'm suggesting you all apply for Runrail is because they have opportunity all over the USA. If you do not have a DOT, make sure that you just put an NA. Answer all of these questions. Keep in mind, you want to click the vehicle that you are that you have. So if you only have a sedan, you're going to click sedan. If you have more, then click it. Click all that applies. Delvin says, "Hey Leela, I've heard about an AI contract finder called Courier HQ.IQ. If you have, what do you think about it?" I have never heard of that, but I will be doing my research. Thank you for sharing. Let me grab that because I've never heard of that. Have you used it, Delvin? Does it work? Have you gotten any opportunity or leads? Or should I say, is there plenty of leads? Because like I've tried to use, what is it, Chat GPT in order to find opportunities. And I didn't like what they were giving me. They were giving me such a small amount and I wanted a larger amount. And so therefore, that's why I don't suggest you all using, chat to do that. But let me know. Once on the One Real page, on what's next? I missed it. So you're going to click right here where it says become a partner. And then you're going to click right here where it says grow with us. And then it brings this up right here. Anthony says, have you heard of the Courier app? Yes, I have. But in my location in Southern California, I'm on a wait list. They don't have any opportunity right now. Kawan says, Claude is better. I've been messing around with Claude on some other things, but I have not used it for that. Thank you, you all for sharing because I'm about to do some homework. I'm gonna do some research. Okay. Everyone who has completed it, go ahead and click comment done when you're done. I heard this Amazon is the best thing happened, but I wanted to ask you what you thought about it. Delvin says, no, that's what's up. Thank you for sharing. Everyone, go get what he said. Get on courierhq.iq. It's because the greatest thing about it is that you want to have an avenue where you can find as much leads as you can, because the more leads, that means that you can be applying for more. David says, done. Awesome. Congratulations. Anyone else has completed it? Go ahead and comment done in the chat. Before I move on from the screen, make sure that you screenshot this. Screenshot this. Anthony says, done. Awesome. Rashida says, done. Awesome. I like to really put emphasis on stacking. It's because that is how you really make that money. Dee here did exactly what I told her, which is don't stop applying and make sure that you get more than one opportunity that you can juggle within that day. And that is what she did. She landed not one, not two, but three contracts, and she's making over $2,500 per week. Awesome, William. Awesome, Martin, Matthew, Marcia. Awesome. Coming up next in the chat. You are next. So Jason is one of the mentees that I have, and he focused on medical courier and courier contracts. I need you not to sleep on contracts that is not medical. You want everything that's not package delivery. So he focused on auto parts. Do not sleep on auto parts. He did auto parts, he did US Pack, and then he did a couple of medical courier contracts. These are all what he's landed. He's landed several contracts within the couple of months, and now he is focusing on building that business side, which is getting his business sam.gov registered, and he's also getting registered with the United States Postal Service. This is what I want you all to do. Do not stay in your car or with one company. Move around. We are not building something that we're going to be here for the next 10 years. No, no, I don't even want to be here unless the next 10 months, let alone 10 days if the price is not right. ABC Legal is another one. That's what Norma says. Thank you for sharing. Now, how much do you want to make a month? Let me know. In the chat, tell me if you are wanting to make a couple of thousand a month, if you're wanting to make 5 to 6 thousand a month, if you want to make 8 to 10 thousand, 15,000, 20,000. What is your goals every single month? All right, who we got? Let's see, let's see. Denise want to make 8 to 10K. Eric want to make 10. David 5. Matthew 10. Marcia 20. Bested says 3,500. Katina says 2 to 3K. Anthony says at least 5 to 6,000. Cam says 5K. Norma says lots of money. Yes, ma'am. George says 5K. Who else? Tonya says, why One World asked me to log in? They shouldn't ask you to log in, but if they do, go ahead and register. OJ says 5K. Now, I'm here to tell you that those are all great goals. But keep in mind, anyone that is wanting to make over that $10,000, they're going to have to do one or two things. That means getting contracts in their business name or having a van or a box truck so you can be able to put more bigger items in your vehicle. So for anyone, George says, I'm in 15K. All right, thank you. So there is another option, and we talked about that, which is getting contracts, private and government contracts in your business name. Now remember, this strategy right here is going to mean you hiring people or you working with subcontractors in order to fulfill the contract. Our main goal right now in this position is to reference ourselves as a business, and now we are getting contracts in our business name. Now, one of the contracts that I had landed and I worked for several months, they was called Crosstown Courier. Write this down. I want you to reach out to Crosstown Courier. Crosstown Courier gets government contracts. If you did not know, there's so many companies that get government contracts. Amazon gets government contracts. Facebook gets government contracts. Uline gets government contracts. Dell Computers, the company, gets government contracts. They get government contracts. And I want you all to be incorporating government contracts as well. Now, this screenshot that I'm sharing with you is from the company that I told you I work for, which is called Crosstown Courier, right here. Crosstown Courier Service. Now, when I first started working with them, now I had already knew about SAM.gov, DIBS, all of these government-based sites that has contracts when I was doing the whole vending machine, because I didn't tell you all, but I had started a vending machine business in 2020. And then I ran it until 2021. I had several locations, and my goal was to land a government contract. I never did, but I was very well aware of what was government contracting. So when I started working with Crosstown, I immediately checked to see if they got government contracts. Now I had kind of already sensed that they did, is because for one, they paid better than any contract that I had previously had. And I was like, all right, I think this is a tell signs, because with government contracting, you have certain guidelines and rules, and one of them is that you have a wage determination. You cannot go out here and be paying your drivers minimum wage or even below minimum wage. They have a wage determination. You need to follow that. So when Crosstown was hiring me and they were paying me, even though I still negotiated my price and I still get more money, I had automatically knew based off of that, because I had already did government contracting or had been researching it. I knew that they had to pay a certain amount. So that was the first tip off. Then I went into a site called the FPDS, which is not a thing anymore. It converted into sam.gov. That's where you see this screenshot. But Crosstown Courier, this is what I tell you all, I need you to reach out to Crosstown Courier. Even if you are not getting government contracts as a business owner, as a prime business, you should still be partnering with companies who already have the contracts. and especially ones that get government contracts. Reach out to Crosstown Courier. You're going to go into Google, you're going to put Crosstown Courier. Keep in mind, there's going to be two sites that come up that says Crosstown Courier. It'll be like Go Crosstown, and the other one's going to be like Crosstown Courier Services. Apply for both of those. All that means is that they have on the website dedicated for different locations. So mind you, that Crosstown have contracts in Southern California, not Southern California, California, because they have both Northern and Southern. They have Nevada, they have New Mexico, they have Utah, then they have some East Coast as well, the Georgia, the Florida. Like the goal is for you to apply with them, send them your resume, and then possibly to see if you can become a subcontractor and work with them this way. Mind you, I found Crosstown on Indeed. You are just doing is going out there and reaching out to them and putting a buzz in their ear like, hey, I'm in this location. If you need anything, hit me up. You should be doing that. Katina said, is it hard to get government contracts? No, it's not hard, but at the same time, it does require a little bit more effort than what we're doing on Indeed. And then also, it does require you to be consistent even more so is because if you are trying to win, government contract, my suggestion is that you should be bidding on 30 contracts a month. When we're talking about getting contracts with our car, I'm more so talking about applying for 20 to 40 a day. But government contracts, because it's a little bit more to it, the goal should be on average, it should come out to one contract a day. One contract a day. Now, let's go over this. So Crosstown at the beginning of the year. Now, mind you, Crosstown has not stopped winning contracts. This screenshot is just from the beginning of the year. If I show you right now, I know Crosstown won a contract within like 2 weeks from today, 2 weeks ago. So January 2nd, top of 2026, Crosstown won a contract for $107,000. Now I know this is a courier contract is because I know the NACS code as well as the PSC code. Both of this says is medical courier, $107,000. Then a couple of weeks prior to that, they won another contract for $729,000. Then the same month, they won two more contracts, one for $240,000 and another one for $203,000. This is why I want you all to be focusing on not just getting contracts with your car, but also getting contracts on in your business name on a government level. Because granted, I'm not going to go out here and say, oh yeah, you're going to win $1.3 million in contracts in the next 2 months. Yes, it can happen. But my goal for you all is to at least land one government contract per quarter. That's 4 per year. If you are able to get one valued at $100,000 every quarter, that is an additional $400,000 per year. This is why I say you can make easily 100,000. You can make 100,000 just with your car. Because you know what $100,000 a year is? $8,500 a month. That's what I was doing. I was doing $8,500 a month and I had secured my $100,000. Now, granted, that was just the beginning. I started to scale and do more. This is where I want you all to be, is because this is where the money is. Are you going to be worried about making $1 to $1.50 or $2 a mile? No, you're going to be worried about making $200 to $3,000 and you're going to be paying somebody. I promise you, this is the avenue you all should be going after. And I don't care if it's not now. It should be in the near future. And it doesn't just stop at medical courier. It's medical supplies. This company won a contract for just under $100,000, this one for $10,000. And mind you, once you learn the skill on how to bid, negotiate, and win a government-based contract, now you can venture off into other types of contracts that is very similar. What about janitorial? And I'm not just talking about on the cleaning level. What about on the supply level? If you know how to bid on medical supplies, and you know how to bid on office supplies, you know how to bid on other type of product-based contracts. This is why I say you must get your business contract ready. It's because if you don't, then you will never qualify for these types of contracts. You can look at them all day long, but you must get your business contract ready. That is step One. That is why I referenced that in the beginning of the class, because my goal is for you to be doing it at the same time. Working on getting contracts in your car for that now money, because getting going on to after government contracts, it can take you anywhere from 1 to 3 months, because you have to set up everything, you have to register for everything, you have to learn it, and then actually start to bid. So the low end, 1 month; on the high end, 3 months. And I'm talking about that includes getting your business contract ready, meaning that EIN, LLC, business bank account, all of that. Why do I say that? Is because on the other side is the results. Christina is probably my best student on the government contracting level. Now, mind you, there's different levels you can come in. You can come in with your car, you can come in with your van, then you can come in as a government contractor or private. That is Christina right here. Christina, within 3 months, that means less than 90 days, she won her 49 medical supply government contracts. This is what I want you all to be working towards. You know why? It's because she didn't even need to hire a driver. She didn't even need to drive it herself. It's because when you're going after and fulfilling medical supply government contracts, you are not using individuals to deliver on the products to the government. You're using third party delivery services like what? FedEx, UPS. Yes, so you are technically not even hiring a driver. You don't even need a van. You don't need a box truck. Heck, you don't even need your car. This is why I want you all to be going towards that business side, even if it's later, but sooner than later, you know? All right. So I want you to meet some of my students that has been killing it. Donisha is one of them. She landed her first contract within 30 days. Jim is another one. Jim said, I don't want to quit my full-time job, but I want to do this part-time. So for anyone that wants to do this part-time, you can do that. Jim is landing, is only doing 3 very part-time days, and he's making anywhere from $500 to $700 per week. In the chat, tell me who can use an extra $2,000 to $3,000 per month in addition to whatever else income that you are generating. Um, can you elaborate, George, on your question? Because if is that like oh, opiates. Okay, I get what you're saying. So you said, are there any restrictions if someone prescribes opiates? So I suggest that you do not drive. You should be starting a business side. That does not interfere with anything that you're taking. And it's because at the end of the day, you are dispatching, you're managing, you are applying for contracts, and someone else is going to be actually delivering, actually driving. So I tell everyone, action over luck is mandatory. Contracts is success is not about luck. It's about taking action, taking massive action, and making sure you're showing up every single day. This is the only thing that you need to do in order to see the results. You have to show up and you have to be consistent. Warren started, he landed his first couple of contracts, and then he said, I want to start the business side. The same thing I'm telling you all. And now he's registered with the United States Postal Service, and he's going after postal contracts. And mind you, these are not the contracts that we're talking about, meaning that you're going to be wearing them little blue shorts and you're going to people's houses and delivering mail. No, we're talking about on a larger corporate scale. That means you're going to the post office depot and you're picking up large bags of mail and you're going to be delivering them to other different post office depot centers. And honestly, I have not seen too many of those type of contracts that are after, I want to say, 12 o'clock. Most of them you're starting at 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. Not saying all, but most of them you're starting early and you're delivering it to other depot centers. And then that is when our individual mail carriers are coming in there and sorting those individual bags for that area. So just understand you can start with your car, but then you should be elevating and going to the business side. Comment up next in the chat. So let me ask you a question. Are you ready to learn how I can help you a little further? We talked about getting contracts with our vehicle, but I want to talk to you more about the government side. Type yes in the chat if you are willing to stick around a little bit longer. It's because you have two options. You can go away with the three strategies under your belt that I talked about by getting contracts in your car and implement it on your own. Or you can stick around a little bit longer and I can share with you how I can make your business government contracting journey a little bit easier. Now, I want to show you the exact blueprint in my current business, as well as other individuals. Like, for example, Michelle. Michelle has, I think, contracts in 7 states. She has landed 7 contracts in 7 different states. And it's all because she joined the Lab Academy 2.0. Now, inside the Lab Academy 2.0, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, it is room for you to start, or you can advance and start at the business side. But inside of here, you will have the most important part, I guess, for the beginners is the lead list. As I give you about 2,500 different leads that is going to be located all over the USA. So that means, here, let me show you in real time. I want to just show you screenshots. That means I have a list of the additional tab is a nationwide. That means opportunities all over the USA. Then we have an Oregon tab. That means life-saving delivery, medical courier delivery. Then we have California, Oregon, Washington, or you can toggle in the 3 lines, and it's categorized per state. Now, some states is not as much like the Idaho, but California or New York, there is plenty of opportunity that I segment per state. So that is the biggest thing that you can take away on the beginner side. That is all you need. Other than that, you should be working on your business. That is making sure your branding is correct. That and so inside of here, I give you everything. My goal is for you to not have to go anywhere else, for you to be able to build your business. That means a website. I let you clone my website. I give you my capability statement for you to be able to edit on top. And if you did not know what a capability statement is, it's just like a resume, but on the business side. So when you're going after government contracts, specifically like medical courier service-based contracts, they're going to require you to submit a capability statement. There's people who charge a couple hundred to a couple thousand for this. Why? I don't know. It is rape. I don't believe in charging that much. Maybe $100, maybe, but I give it to you for free once you join inside of the community. Then I also share with you all how to improve your personal credit and also get business funding. So you should be doing this simultaneously while you're building your business, while you're starting to bid on your contracts. You should be working on getting your business fundable. Why is this important? Or what if you want to buy a van or a box truck? Or well, let's say you were to land a medical supply contract and you need to buy that product because with government contracting, you are not getting paid after before you deliver. You have to deliver, get the product delivered, then get paid. So what if you don't have the funding? What if you don't have $50,000 or even $25,000 lying around because you want a big contract and that's how much the product is? That is what these courses is all about. I give you step by step on what you need to be doing in order to raise your personal credit and also get business funding. Remember, I was talking to you about Christina? Well, Christina, it took this right here, this workshop. It was a challenge at the time, but I dropped it in here, and this is the blueprint in order to land those medical supply contracts. The one that she won 49 medical supply contracts within 3 months, she learned from this training right here. And also, I share with you all how to build your VA team, which is your virtual assistant. You need to understand is that yes, you can do this alone, and you most definitely can. But for individuals that may have, work, you may have, kids, children, a spouse, and it takes a lot of time and you want to be consistent and you need a little help, then I share with you how you can hire your own virtual assistant. I have a virtual assistant and I hired them from the Philippines. I pay my virtual assistant $7 an hour. You can pay as low as $4 an hour for a virtual assistant. Just keep in mind you're going to get what you pay for. I've had several VAs that I had to hire and fire within the same week. And only common thing was they was getting paid $4 an hour. And I felt like the quality was for $4 was I just didn't like it. So what I said was, it's not you, it's me. I raised up the price, excuse me, the pay, and now I have a more consistent, reliable VA. And also I was hiring better. I share all of my techniques and tricks inside as well. So the only thing standing in your way of you getting to your goals is a story that you keep telling yourself as to why you can't achieve it. Comment, I'm next. Mona took one of my 5-day challenges. Inside of my 5-day challenge, I go over the whole shebang. That means how to get private contracts, as well as how to write and create your own proposals. So when you are submitting government contracts, you have to submit a proposal. I give you a proposal template, and then I also give you a chat GPT prompt because I use chat GPT in order to unpack these solicitations. Sometimes these solicitations or contracts are 100 pages plus, 200 pages plus. I'm not going to read that, nor do I even understand what it's saying. So I had to create a chat GPT prompt that I use in order to unpack the contract. I'm giving that all to you. But Mona, she took my 5-day challenge, and within the same week on the 6th day, because she applied everything, she was able to land her a contract. And you know what the greatest thing about it is that when you join inside the community, I give you that 5-day challenge as well, so you can be able to start and implement as well. I have another challenge coming up in July, and it's going to include other businesses, other avenues that I have added. Now, granted, I'm just telling you, you don't have to do this right now, but I truly believe that, instead of you creating different businesses in order for you to, make more income stream, I have been focusing on taking the same business and having more several income stream within that business. So yes, medical courier is what I initially talk about, how I entered into the journey into the business, but that is not where I am at right now. It's not ending there. It actually opened up my eyes to other opportunities. So other services that I have added to my medical courier business and government contracting, I have added DNA testing. I got certified, and I turned our event space studio, because in reality, the event space studio is only popping on the weekend when it is popping. It's not popping in Monday through Friday. So I turned our event space studio to a mobile lab business. That means if you want to come in here and get DNA testing Monday through Friday, I got you. If you want to come in here and get CPR training and first aid training, I got you, because I went and got certified, and that is another avenue. Both of those are another avenue of income that I'm making, and I'm not depending on medical courier. You should all be doing that as well. So in my upcoming challenge in July, I will be sharing with you how you can add those other certifications, just like the HIPAA, the bloodborne pathogen, in order to maximize your earning potential. Because remember, we want to be able to add more income. Marcia says DOT. No, that's not me. Um, I had my sister used to have a trucking company, and she had a DOT, she had her MC license, and from that, it really got me to understand why I don't want to do that. When we're doing medical courier, we're doing DNA testing or ink fingerprinting, that's another one. Drug testing, that's another one. You don't need a DOT, you don't need an MC license, you don't need to pull 18-wheeler vehicles, trucks. You don't have to do none of that. So this is why I stay away from DOT. That is not my expertise nor my knowledge. I just know that I don't want to have to deal with it. You can, but I just don't want to, because I found that there is so much certifications out there that we can just enlighten ourselves with and get, that we can add additional income streams. Now, mind you, I'm a medical, like, if you didn't know, I was going into nursing school before I started any of this. My goal was to go into medical school and become an RN. That didn't work out, but it's so great that I have a full circle moment, that I am able to still be a service within the medical industry without having to go to school for several years, without having to go nursing, doctoring, without having to spend all that money on loans. I don't have to do none of that. So this is something that I believe that you should be adding to your other services that you should be adding to your current business. So this is what you're also getting when you join the community. You get the lead list, but then you also get bi-weekly Q&A coaching calls. So when I come, let's just say you need help with a contract. You need it to be unpacked. You want to know, want me to review the proposal, or you have another type of question, then come to the bi-weekly Q&A coaching calls. You also get that proposal writer. So therefore you don't have to hire anyone to write your proposals. A lot of the big companies like Amazon, Facebook, they get government contracts. They have a professional proposal writer. Well, I teach you how to be that professional because we're going to be using what? AI. AI has really helped me not only win contracts, but also submit them faster. It allows me to be able to touch more contracts in a month versus me just doing it all, without AI. I've used AI as an advantage. I know some people feels like, AI is going to destroy us because I feel it, but if you use it for good, we'll be good. Then you also get that 5-day medical money challenge all inside of the Lab Academy 2.0. My community wins. I have several individuals that is winning, but keep in mind, you must do the work. Jason is one of them who has done the work. Comment, I am next. He won his second contract within 30 days of joining inside the Lab Academy 2.0. So you can get everything that I'm telling you, that I have plus more that's inside the community, and the value is well over $5,000. I normally charge $19.97 for this, but I want to give you all a huge discount for you to be able to take advantage and start to see the results. Start to get your business contract ready. Start to be able to start bidding and actually commit and fulfill on these contracts. So I have 3 different tiers on joining the community. This is a closer up. I have a lifetime, a yearly, and a monthly, and it depends on where you're at. A lifetime will give you exactly what it says, lifetime access inside the community. That means if you are committed, then you will be able to get those biweekly calls whenever you need them because they are being hosted whether you come or not. But the goal is for you to have a community where you can get your questions answered and actually see results within this medical career, but also government contracting. Now, it's normally $19.97, but it is only $5.97 for the year. And mind you, you also get access to upcoming challenges and workshops that I have. Then we have the yearly plan. The yearly plan is $3.97 per year. And then for anyone that wants to do the monthly, then it is only $97, and that will give you access for 3 whole months. I did that like that is because I truly believe that you got to give yourself at least 90 days to see if this is like what you want. I think it's more, but I say at least 90 days. The greatest thing about it is that when you commit and get the lifetime or the yearly, I have an option for you to be able to buy now and pay later. That means you have Klarna, Zip, Afterpay, and Affirm, so you can be able to take action, start to make you some money, so then in 30 days you will not have to spend this money and not see the results, because you will see the results if you are committed within the 30 days. Now I do have a bonus. I have a bonus. So for the next 3 people who join lifetime, I give you a free one-on-one strategy call with me. It will take place this upcoming week, next week, and you will be able to unpack and let me know all about your business. And then I will give you a strategy on what you need to be doing based off of the goals that you have revealed to me. So you have lifetime, yearly, or monthly in order to commit. Comment I'm next in the chat. Jason, he landed his first medical courier contract, and he is all the way up to, I think, 5 contracts right now. Then we have Augustine. Augustine won his first local contract with, courier contract with a local courier company. He wanted to keep it local. Now, You're probably thinking, I can find this info online. Contracts are not for people like me. I don't have time to commit. I can't afford another program. Or even, what if this doesn't work for me? So this is my commitment and promise to you. Inside this community, you'll get a clear step-by-step roadmap. You'll get real contracting opportunities that fit you, time-saving tools and templates, and the support to stay on track. So you can confidently unlock contracts, business funding, and credit without wasting time, money, or energy guessing if this will work. Comment I'm next if you are joining the community. Who is ready to take action? So some of you are probably still thinking, but coach, I don't have an LLC yet. What does this all have to do with me and my business? Also, I give you a checklist on getting your business contract ready. So that I give you an avenue on what you need to do. You need to get your LLC, the EIN. I'll even give it to the free class. Even if you do not commit and join the community, I still want you to be working on getting your business contract ready. Is because that is something you should be doing simultaneously while you're landing the contract with your car. So I'm going to give you that. Just remind me. Um, this is not only for existing businesses or entrepreneurs. This works for everyone. It does not matter even if you're not in the medical courier industry and you're in another industry. Everyone should be going after government contracts. It's because if you did not know, the government is going to be your biggest most consistent customer out there is because they cannot go out into regular stores like you and I and go grab what they need. No, they have to go through small businesses or businesses like you and I in order to fulfill the contract. So why does that, how is this going to work for us? We only just need one contract per quarter in order to secure that at least six-figure year. Your first contract is just one click away, just like Derek. My community wins. It has tons of testimonials. But first, when you lock in your dreams, when you lock in on your dreams, that is where you see the results. Just like John, he landed 3 contracts and now he's working on the business side. Just like Latifah, she landed her first contract within 14 days. Jamar, he landed a courier contract within the first 30 days. Elizabeth won her contract. Then, this is another thing I tell individuals, always ask them for more work. And that's exactly what she did. She now has a master contracting opportunity where she can hire individuals under her as a master contractor. I tell everyone, starting my business during the pandemic was one of the best things has ever happened to me. I took a leap. I have no regrets. That is where I seen the most opportunity for myself and my business was during the pandemic. So, who's ready to join the community? So right now, I'm going to put this inside of the chat. Remember, when you grab lifetime, you will get, and mind you, this is for the first 3 people. I just put in the chat, you will have the option, or not the option, the bonus of getting a one-on-one free strategy call. And then once you click the link, you'll have also the option for you to be able to buy now, pay later with the lifetime as well as the yearly. You cannot use the Afterpay, Affirm, Klarna for the 97. That's the only one right here that you can't. The other 2 you can buy now and pay later. Now, while everyone is grabbing their seat, I want to open up for Q&A. Go ahead and post your comments or your questions inside of the chat while everyone else is getting in. Here, let me put this in YouTube. I want you to post your questions right here inside of the chat. No questions? Did I do such a great job that we're all good? You don't have any questions? Okay. This is what I'm going to do also. So for everyone that is going to get contract ready, I want to give you all this checklist. This checklist is going to guide you on what needs to be done. Now, I give you all this checklist is because I understand, like other businesses, they'll allow you to set up your business and in particular way. But when we're going after private and government contracts, they're very anal on how it needs to be set up. So I created a checklist and I'm going to give you all the checklist so you can be able to start this on your own. First and foremost, you need to choose your business name and buy your domain name. That is going to be your www name. You want to buy that. It's going to cost you about $14 for the year to have your domain name. Then once you have completed step one, step two is you need to register your entity. That means get an LLC and an get an LLC or an S corp. One or the other. I have both. I first started creating businesses under an LLC, then I quickly moved into an S corp. You do what you want. There's no right or wrong answer, but at least for me, I went to the S corp route because I see more tax benefits over there. Number three is you're going to get your EIN number. I put a clickable link there so you can be able to go straight there and get it. The next thing is you need your Dun and Bradstreet number, your DMB. This is a free number. Please, whatever you do not pay $297 to get it expedited. It is a free number and it'll come to you within about a week. You need this number not for necessary government contracting, but you need this in order for us to start building business funding, getting that business credit and all of that stuff. Remember, we're very intentional on how we're setting up our business because we're going to want to get funding. And not just that, but we also want to make sure our business is contract ready. So we need to make sure this is done. Then you're going to grab your NAICS code. You're going to click here and look up your NAICS code. You're going to put your, let's say you put medical courier in here. Then this is going to be your NAICS code, 492110. You're going to grab your NAICS code. The very most important thing that you need to, that if you miss anything on here, I need you to pay attention to this. This right here is what I guess makes people stall and not be able to start bidding is because they'll have a virtual address or they have a PO box. You cannot use that if we're getting government contracts. It has to be a physical address. Well, what qualifies as a physical address? Your home address applies as a physical address. You investing in a small suite, and let's just say you got an office suite for a few $100s, maybe $500 or $600 a month. That's considered a physical address. Now, I do not suggest that you go do that because my motto is make money before you start to spend money as much as you can. Use your home address. But if you're like, I just don't want to use my home address, I'd rather just go ahead and get a suite that I'm paying for. Do you, boo-boo? Do you? But I'm telling you right now, you don't have to spend that money if you don't want to. And for anyone that's like, oh, I'm going to go through Regis, don't do it. They're going to set you back. Every person that I tell them don't go through Regis, don't go through Opus, don't go through any of these companies that says physical address, but they're actually virtual address, you're going to be very upset. You're going to spend money that you don't need, and then you're going to get disqualified when it comes time for you to register your business on these government sites. So don't do it. All right. The next thing is you need a business phone number. You're not going to be using your cell phone number. You're going to use a third party like phone.com or Vonage. There's other ones out there. These are just an example. You're going to use that is because that is going to reflect your business phone number. So when individuals call you, companies, government contractors, you're going to give them this phone.com or Vonage number. The other thing is you need a business email address. You're going to use Google Workspace. Mind you, this is going to go connected to your Google domains. So when you get, let's just say your domain name is LB Courier Service. Then LB Courier Service is the root of your business email. So when you go to Google Workspace, you're going to be creating this business email. So like, for example, you can put the first portion of that business email of whatever you want. I normally do info at LB Courier Service. That's my business name. Admin at da 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 da. Sales at, and that is how you're going to be creating your business email through Google Workspace. Keep in mind, this is a monthly fee. It's about $9 a month, 9 or 12. I can't remember which one I paid, but it's about $9 in order to have a business email. 7 and 8, you're just going to um, take note of this information. Answer the questions because this is going to be needed once it's time to register on a business level for these government sites. And then number 9 is you getting your business bank account. I use Navy Federal. It is up to you what you want to use. I just like credit unions. Number 10, you can skip it because it just depends on what type of contracts you're going after. Once you have completed 1 through 9, and also when you're completing 1 through 9, I want you to go into your drive. If you have Google, you have a drive. You're going to go in here and make a new folder, and you're going to call it your business name. Then you're going to create a doc, and all of the information that you are getting 1 through 9, you're going to write it in there. You have to do this. Well, you don't have to do it. I highly suggest it. It's because when 11 comes for you to register on sam.gov, go to get started, they're going to ask you all of these questions. So it's best to have it all in one document. I call it a working document. So you can be able to edit it and then come back to it and reference it when you are filling out important information like this. Kawan says, so don't use my second phone line. You can use your second phone line, but it's allows you to use a third party line like phone.com or Vonage that's directly associated with your phone. So like for example, this is my cell phone right here. When someone calls me under, like say, because I don't have this, let's just say they call me under phone.com. The the phone number will ring my business phone number. So then I will answer it accordingly because this is now a business phone number. If it does not answer, if it does not ring my business phone number, then that means it is a regular personal call. Yes, you can get a second phone line, but I'm just trying to make sure that you don't spend too much money. That is my goal. I'm just trying to spend as less money as you can so you can start making money and then you can grow and add later. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to register your business on sam.gov. Then you're going to skip number 12. And the reason why you skip number 12 is because when you register for sam.gov, they're going to give you two numbers. They're going to give you a UEI number and a cage code. Once you get the cage code, that is only when you can register for dibs. This is dibs. So let me clarify a little further. sam.gov has both service contracts and product. Now, mind you, we're not talking about medical courier or medical supplies. We're talking about a service and a product. Let's say medical courier, that's the service. Let's say medical supplies, that's the product. So know that on SAM, you can have both service contracts and product. On DIBS, it's only product. That means you're never going to find a service contract over there. So you need to wait to register for dibs. So while you're waiting on that UEI number and that cage code, I want you to skip 12 and go straight to 13. That is meaning that you register now on a state level. So when you register on SAM, that is a federal level. You register one time, your registration stays good for one whole year, and that means you can bid on contracts all over the USA. That's at a federal level. I want you to register on a state level. So on the difference between a federal, once you go ahead and register for SAM, you have access to all of the state contracts, excuse me, all of the contracts on the federal level, even if they're in different states. But if you're going out here and registering for this state, this state, this state, you have to register individually because that is on a state level. The same thing on a county level, the same thing on a city level. This is why I'm telling you all, there's so much more opportunity out here when you start the business side. Because remember, if you did not know, contracts that are on sam.gov is not going to be on state. Contracts that are on a state site is not going to be on SAM. Contracts out on the state, it's not going to be on the county, and then same thing for the city. So this is why I say you have so much opportunity. And mind you, I just only focus on 1, 2, and 3. There's contracts on a university level, on a school district level. It's so many contracts out here. So you can be able to, diversify yourself and go after contracts in multiple different areas. All right. So in order to figure out where you're going to be registering on a state level, I want to share with you all. Now, mind you, this is going to be the exact same way that you do it for every single state or city or county. So let's just say you're in the state of Texas. You're going to put in Texas bids. Let's say you are in California. You're going to put in California bids. Same thing for Florida, same thing for Georgia. You are looking for contracts. You're looking for the procurement site for you to register on the state level. So this right here, I think it's this one right here. Every state site is going to be slightly different. So just keep that in mind. So let's say this is the state of California. I know this site because I'm registered a state of California, Georgia, Texas, and Florida. So I understand how those sites work. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go here and you're going to register. Once you register, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to certify yourself as a small business owner. Now, keep in mind, there's only about 3 to maybe 5 states that allow you to register as a small business on a state level. So if you're in a different state and you don't see this, that just means that it's not in your area. When you see this on that site, I want you to register because this is another level that you need to register and then get certified for. Why? It's because that is how you're going to be able to bid. Keep in mind, when you are when you are registering on SAM, it's a little intimidating. It's a lot. So save it, come back, and then continue the registration. On the state levels, I found out that it is less demanding. It takes me it's just more easier. So just keep that in mind. On the state level, it's generally a little bit more easier on a federal level. But just remember, once you register one time, that is it. You just have to re-register every single year. So this right here is going to be your Get Contract Ready checklist. Everyone is going to get it, whether you join the community or not. That's how much I believe in this, and I want you to do this. Is because if you're not contract ready, then you'll never qualify or bid or anything. So I need you to do this, and I'm going to give you this. I just wanted to go over it because a lot of times I'll tell people go do the checklist, and they're like, well, what to do? This is just an overview on what you need to do, 1 all the way through 13. Now I did see a couple of people got in. I want to shout you out. Delvin says, can you use Google Voice? So I absolutely do not suggest that you use Google Voice. It's because you get what you pay for. Google Voice is free 99, and that's exactly what's going to happen. It's not going to be right. It's not going to be correct. From my experience with Google Voice, sometimes the phone numbers come in, sometimes the text messages come in, and sometimes they don't. And as a business owner, I need to have everything, everything. I want to make sure that when someone reaches out, I want to be in contact with them. I don't need for you to be slipping through the cracks because Google Voice did not give you send the email, excuse me, not the email, the phone call or the text or whatnot. So I stay away from Google Voice. Grasshopper is another one that I don't like. Grasshopper is a charge. It's like 50, 60. I think I was paying like $7 a month. I was paying way too much money to have inconsistencies. I was not getting the phone calls either on a consistent basis, and as well as a text message. So I got rid of them too. Don't use Grasshopper and don't use Google Voice. That's just me. Can DBA instead of LLC? No, sir. So you're gonna get an LLC. And then my goal for everyone is that you haven't created an LLC or S Corp, you should make a broad name or parent company name. I want it to be broad is because some companies or funding companies or banks or whatnot is not going to register excuse me, it's not going to give you funding when you have a name, something in your name like courier, transportation, anything like that. Those are like red flags. So what I tell people to do is make a broad name or a parent company name, and then you add DBAs under it, which is a doing business as name. That DBA can have courier in it, but the goal is for you to establish the LLC as a broad name. Let the LLC be able to get the funding. And then if you want to call yourself Matthew Courier Services, use a DBA. But you're going to use um, a parent company name or a broad name. Kawan says like enterprise. Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, okay, what was I doing? What was I doing? Give me 1 second. Congratulations. Let me get these names. I'm like, I'm not gonna call out names, emails. I've seen a couple of people that got in. I don't want to leave you hanging. So everyone that got in, please don't leave. I will be um giving you all access to the community before we leave, because I want to make sure you have that. All right, let me move this stuff down because I can't see on my screen. Who is this? Who is this? EM? Hope I said that right. Congratulations. Welcome to the community. Who is next? Who else got in? Denise, welcome to the community. Congratulations. Who is this? I Washington or L Washington? I think I said that right. Congratulations. My apologies. And then we have a couple more. Otis, congratulations on getting inside of the Lab Academy 2.0. All right, so we're approaching a 2 hour mark. I don't want to keep you too much longer. So we're gonna just be here a couple more minutes, and then I'm gonna send you on your way. Okay, I see some questions in here, and I want to make sure that I answered it. I want to answer everybody's questions before I go. Diona says, what type of commercial insurance do I need? So I never am going to suggest you to get commercial insurance until we have the contract that we're referencing right there, or we actually are getting ready to get hired. The reason why is because there's a lot of opportunity out there that does not require you to have commercial insurance. So I don't want you to go out there and spend that and you don't need that. Every single contract that I've had with my car, I've been able to use my personal car insurance. If they ask me to get commercial, I'm probably going to tell them no because commercial costs more. You can spend anywhere on the low end for commercial insurance, $500 or $600, all the way up to like past $1,000. I'm not paying that if the contract is paying me car money. Because commercial insurance is given box truck van, but if a car is requesting it, I'm probably not going to commit to it. Like for example, American Expediting allows you to use your car, van, or box truck, but they want you to have commercial on your car. I said, screw that, I'm not doing that, and I moved on. So just keep in mind is that if the contract is not requiring you to have commercial insurance, don't go out there and get it. And then let's say you are going to get it because the contract you gotten hired for does require commercial insurance. I'm not going to refer you to a specific insurance companies just because they're going off of your history, your driving record, how long you've been driving for. My suggestion is go ahead and find you a few brokers, and then you're going to get quotes. You want to get 3 to 5 quotes from these commercial insurance companies so you can see which one is the best. Excuse me, because sometimes I can sit there and tell you Geico is bomb. And you'd be like, oh no, Geico charged me too much. Progressive is dope, but then for the next Progressive charge too much. Actually, that's a lie. I've never seen a cheap Progressive rate. They're expensive. But you want to make sure that you are playing them against each other and going with the best rate. You may have answered this, but can you use a rental car or lease to own a vehicle? No, I did not talk about this, Ruby, but I'm going to talk about this right now. So when I first got started, I used the rental car. Now, granted, there is companies out there that will allow you to use a rental car from the jump. But then there's plenty of opportunities that's like, no, we're not using a rental car. So what I did was I applied with the vehicle that I already had. So me and my husband at the time had a Ford. And so we were sharing that vehicle. I had already knew because I had did Uber, Lyft, DoorDash. I'm not putting those mileage on my vehicle. I'm going to rent a car. And because I had did that already with Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash, whatever. And so this is what I did. I applied with the vehicle I already had. I waited till I got hired, and then I turned around and I said, "Hey, is it okay if I use a rental car? Me and my husband shares a car, and we don't want to put the mileage on there." And when I tell you, they all said, "Okay." The only thing they said was you need to make sure that you carry full coverage insurance on that rental car. So you know what I did? I went and I found an insurance company that allowed me to be able to rent cars and they use my insurance. And that's why I got Geico. Because Geico allows you to use a rental car, to go get a rental car, and you can use Geico insurance as long as the vehicle, you have the vehicle for less than 30 days. You can't go over 30 days. So you know what I did? I would keep all my cars for 30 days. I do that because I get a better rate. So when I rent cars, I only rent cars from Hertz. I don't go to nobody else. I like Hertz. And I've been using Hertz probably what almost 10 years now. I reserve it for one whole week, 7 days. Don't use a rental car or get a rental car if you don't have no contracts. That don't make no sense. Get the contracts first and then get the rental car. But you wanna book it for 7 full days. On the seventh day, I call them in and I say, hey, can you renew it for 7 more days? On the second week, I'll say, hey, can you renew it for another 7 days? On the third week, I'll say, do it again. On the fourth week, I take back the car. That's technically 28 days because I know if I go over, if I do it another week, then my insurance won't be valid and I get in a car accident and Geico will not cover me. So make sure if you are going to use a rental car, make sure that you are going to use your personal car insurance in order so you don't have to be paying that daily insurance on that rental car because that's how you're going to be eating up more money. I didn't have to spend that $25 a day for insurance. Nope. I use Geico insurance and I've never had any issues. So yes, you can use a rental car. I just kind of finessed it my way. Norma says, I already picked out my business name. That's right, Norma. I know you serious. You're like, I can't drive. And that's the best thing. For anyone that even has a felony or anything like that, start that business side. Delva says, don't forget to check on Courier HQ dot I. Is it dot IG? I thought it was dot IQ because I wrote it down. I'm gonna check on that and I'm gonna check on Claude. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give it to my VA to go do research, and I'll be like, report back to me, ma'am. I'm still not playing. I heard it was awesome from the CBA community. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Thank you for sharing. Um, Shanika says, can you scroll back to 1 and 3? I'm sorry. I'm going to give you all this. So even if you are missing it right here or you didn't see it, what you wanted to see, I'm going to give you this get contract ready checklist. I got you all. Everybody's going to leave with that. Vesta says presentation on point. Thank you. Excuse the early departure. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Can you use the word express or would that be a red flag? I would stay away from the word express. If I'm going to use express, I'm going to put it in the DBA, not in the LLC or the parent company name. Martin says, great presentation this evening. A lot of excellent things to look at. Thank you, Martin. Thanks a lot of sharing the valuable information. So for starting and making experience better. Wait, let me read that again. So for starting and making experience, it's better to start it as a courier, then scale up to LLC. I'm trying to understand your question. I think I'm gonna answer it as much as I can. I think that you should start applying right now, and then you should also be starting the business side. And if you already have a business and you already have an LLC, then use that LLC in order to register for SAM or your state. Because if you did not know this, when you're getting government contracts, they're not going to say, oh, we can't give you this contract because Courier is not in your name. I've seen so many different companies that has medical in their name and they want a photography contract or vice versa. Even for me, when I registered my business under sam.gov, I registered the event studio. I had already had registered previously with under vending, but remember I told you I started more businesses. So I registered the event studios because the event studio had a physical address. And I did not want to use my home address like I had already used for my vending. Not saying that I didn't want to, but I had the opportunity because I had an event studio. The event studio name is the Secret Sharing Event Space LLC. That's the name. Then I had a DBA called 951 Vibes. That is also the event studio. But I registered using that business information. And then once I got registered, then I went after event studio, event setup contracts, also medical couriers, because once you're registered, you have an opportunity to go after all these types of contracts. I don't want you to think it's only just medical courier, or medical supplies. No, if you already have a business or registration, use that in order to register for SAM. That way you don't have to start from zero. For those of us that just joined late, where can I find the recorded version of this Zoom? So just shortly, I'm going to invite you into another community, Edward and everyone else, so you can be able to watch watch the replay. Thank you for the opportunity. I need to come back because I was at work doing a class, but my next time I will be sitting with paper and pen. Awesome, Dominique. I have an LLC under Coquito. Coquito. I think I said that right. I'm sorry. Studios PR. Can I use a DBA for ABC Courier? Yep, you sure can. You sure can. If you didn't know, you can add multiple DBAs to your LLC or S Corp. And if you have an S Corp, you can add multiple LLCs and DBAs. But right now, I have one S Corp and I have two DBAs under it. Once those businesses start to grow and become financially, for them to stand on their own, then I'll separate it. But I'm not doing that right now because I'm in the state of California, and to create LLCs and stuff, it's like $800 plus, and I'm like, I'm not doing that no more. I'm just gonna add DBAs. George says, can you make the list available? I'm going to drop the mini lead list shortly. If I have the truck, is it difficult to begin with my first contract until I rent one? Nope. Eduardo, use that truck and start applying. Thomas says, thank you for sharing experience with us. You're so welcome, Thomas. The insurance for rentals is hired and non-owner insurance. Hired and non-owned insurance. I'm not understanding your question, Kawan. Can you clarify that, please? Can you explain the issue with LLC name? My husband thought of the name Stat Express Logistics. Is that bad? Christian. So it's not terrible, but you're gonna get messed with when it comes time to getting funded. You won't get max funding with one of those red flag names. So Express is the one in question, not logistic and not even stat. Express. And so if you want to use that Stat Express Logistics, make it your doing business as name and then create a broad LLC name so you can still be able to use that name, just make it the DBA. Kawan says, can I use a barbershop address instead of virtual address? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. S Corp, you know a lot. I don't know that much. I don't think I know that much. I need help. I'll be having my tax person clarifying everything, and I try to regurgitate it back to you, but all I know is that S Corp is great for taxes when we are wanting to save money and not give it all to Uncle Sam. David says, thank you for dropping the gem. You're so welcome. All right, Kawan says, are these questions to ask the insurance company? General liability, hired and non-owned, auto, cargo, medical. Okay, so look, this is what I do because I don't even understand none of that either. When I went to go start to quote commercial insurance, and this is why I said no, because I was just like, it's too much money. I took the contract that I was referencing and potentially working for and got a quote with those numbers. I didn't go out here and say, oh, I think I need to have this much liability, this much bumper to bumper. Nope. Most 99% of all the contracts that's going to require you to get commercial insurance, they're going to tell you what you need. So go in there and ask those different reps. Be like, this is what I need. And they're going to ask you how long you've been driving. They might even ask you for your DMV report so you can have an accurate quote. And then I went from there. David says, I joined. Awesome. Welcome to the community, David. All right. So at this time, I want to grab everyone who got in so we can so I can get you in the community because I don't want to hold you up much longer. For everyone that is still hanging around, you still have an opportunity to join the Lab Academy. Remember, everyone who joins Lifetime, you will be able to get a one-on-one call with me. The first three who joins Lifetime, you'll be able to get a one-on-one call with me this upcoming week. All right, so what's going to happen now is I'm about to invite the people who join inside the community. All right, so let's do this first. I'm going to put the email in here. And Okar, I want you to check your email, please. Everyone that I tell you, when I tell you I put it in here, I want you to check your email. You're gonna look for an email from the lab group, a lab academy, or it'll be the school, something like that. You're going to, am I lagging? I feel like I'm lagging. I think I'm lagging. Am I back? Okay, I think I'm back. Hopefully I'm not lagging. Okay. You're going to check an email right now. And once you grab that, once you get the email, it's going to have you input your name, your password, username, email, all of that. And then you'll be inside the community. Okay. I think I'm back. I think it was lagging a little bit. Okay. If you do not see it, please go to your search and put in SKOOL, and then it should pop up. If it doesn't, please check your spam in your promotional folders. Excuse me. And if it still has it, let me know, and we're gonna unpack it. We're gonna fix it before I get off. I'm not gonna leave y'all hanging. Okay, so let me just, I think we're good here. Give me 1 second. Let's move this over. Okay, let me know if you all are in. Just comment, I'm in once you have gotten in. I just want everyone to know that you are next. You are next. Comment, I am next. It all depends on how much effort, how much time you are giving to this. So you need to make sure that you are showing up every single day. So if all this did was help you get one contract, would it be worth it? If all this did was help you get $10,000 inside your new business, would it all be worth it? If all this does is give you accountability that you needed to quit procrastinating, join a community, would it be worth it? Just like Elizabeth here. She landed her contract when she joined inside the community. Just like Stephanie. I did a summit recently, and it was a free summit, by the way. And Stephanie took massive action on the free information and she landed her first contract. This is why I tell you all, I give a lot of value, a lot of information for you to go out there and start to see the results. But it starts with you actually putting it into practice. Just like Tamesia, I did a challenge a couple years ago, and she took everything in that 5-day challenge, and on the 6th day, she landed her first contract. She landed her first contract. So I want to do something special for the next 5 to 10 people. We're almost out of here. I'm going to do something special for the next 5 to 10 people. Let me just bring this up. So for the next 5 to 10 people, I understand that the price might have gotten in the way, and that's okay. But I still want you to join the community. And for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to open it up for you to be able to join the Lab Academy for only $33 per month. Keep in mind, there is some things that won't be included in the lifetime, as well as in the yearly, but you'll still be able to take advantage with the lead list, the full lead list, the Courier Games Challenge, the branding kit, as well as the Get Contract Ready and SAM.gov registration. And then also, I forgot to tell you all, I have an opportunity where you can be able to share the community and make money. So for anyone that wants to invite someone else inside of this community, you get 40% back. That means you have an opportunity to get back all of your investment just by referring. Watch this video inside of here and it'll tell you everything about it. So I will leave this open for the next couple of minutes until we get out of here for the next 5 to 10 people or a few minutes. Congratulations, Kawan, for getting in. Welcome to the community. Okay, so while everyone is doing that, for everyone that wants to rewatch not this replay, but one that's just like this, just from like a week or so ago, I want to invite you all inside the free community. I just dropped it in the chat. So the only thing that's not included in the $33 a month is the government contracting courses as well as the biweekly coaching call. That's the only two things that's not inside when you get the $33 a month. But the greatest thing about it is that you can always upgrade, and I'll still honor the price point. So you'll pay the difference if you wanted to upgrade and get yearly or lifetime. The only thing is you will not be able to get that strategy call, that one-on-one strategy call when you upgrade to lifetime. That is something that I was giving to you all right now. So inside the chat, I'm going to drop it again, is how you're going to be able to join my free community. This is free $99. So inside of here, if you go into the classroom section, here's that Get Contract Ready checklist, because remember I told you you all were going to get that because I want you to have that. Then this is where you can watch that replay right here. And then remember I told you I've been giving you all a mini lead list. Go right here, scroll down. Here's the mini lead list. This is not like the one that has over 2,500. This just has about 25 nationwide leads. Then I give you a script as well, an email script and a call script. Then I'm also going to give you 2 more bonuses. When you click right here, you'll get my editable resume template. So for anyone that's like, oh, I don't like how my resume is, I give you a template for you to be able to go ahead and add it to Canva. You can do the free version in Canva. And then you will be able to come in here and edit on top. You can edit on top. See what I'm doing? I'm editing on top. Oops. I'm editing on top. You can do all of that and then print it out, and then boom, you have a resume. So that's that I'll give you. And then under here, you get that certification checklist. This is where you'll be able to click here in order to get your HIPAA and your bloodborne. And then there's a couple of other different certifications that you can get info for just based off the contract. Remember, you're only going to be getting bloodborne and HIPAA. Don't spend the money on the other ones. That contract that you're applying for does not require it. We don't want to waste money. We're all about trying to make the most of the money. So join inside the free community. Again, if you have questions, you can ask them inside of the community tab right here. And then you can DM me as well. So everyone join that. I'm gonna put it in here one more time. Join the free community. For everyone that got into the paid community, congratulations. Let me know if you're all are in. If you're not, comment help and I got you. Just make sure that you are coming to the next class. So today is March 31st. The next one is going to be June 9th. It's under the calendar tab. You're going to click right here and then you're going to add yourself to the calendar. This is the Zoom link. So the day of the event or the time, you're going to click here and then join the Zoom. Keep in mind, whatever time zone you're in, it will reflect the correct time zone. Denise says, help. Can you put your email in the chat, please? And I can grab it easier. That's what I want you to do inside the calendar. And then everyone else that got in as well inside the Lab Academy, you're going to come to the classroom section. You're going to start here. This gives you a full overview of the community. I do not want you all coming through here and like, I'm going to watch all of this because I have a lot of stuff in here. I'm going to watch all of this. Nope. I want you to hone in on one or two courses, commit to it, focus on it, take action, and actually get results before you go in here and start to go and watch something else. So this is going to be the overview. So if you are the beginner wanting to get contracts with your car, you're going to take all of the information that we talked about today and you're going to use the lead list. Inside the lead list, you are going to only pay attention to 3 tabs: the additional leads, the Oregon Courier leads, and then whatever your state is. The goal is for you to reach out and apply with all of these companies. Then after about a few days to a week, then you're going to call them. Then you're going to email them. I like to bug them at least 3 to 5 times. I need them to know that who I am, who's my name, and I'm hungry for contracts. So that is going to be for the beginner side. For everyone that also should be working on the business side, the next thing is you need to be working on this get contract ready checklist. Then from there, the next thing that you need to be doing is working on your Courier branding. That means your website, your capability statement, your LinkedIn profile. That's the next thing. The next thing that you should next be doing is the 5-day challenge. Keep in mind, if you join $33 a month, you do not get access to the 5-day challenge. The 5-day challenge, day 1 is all about getting private contracts with your business. Day 2 is also branding. Day 3 is how to bid, write the government proposals, how to use ChatGPT along with my ChatGPT prompt. That is going to be day 3. Day 4 is all about medical supplies. This is doing business with DIBS and or as well as SAM.gov. Day 5, it is building a digital medical business. Now, a lot of people give me pushback, but I want to make sure that I'm very transparent. So I like for you all to add an additional stream, but also give assistance to the next person, because I believe each one teach one. I can only reach so many people. There's millions and billions of people in this world. I can only talk to just this small bit. But you can be that next person, that next one that's like handing over the baton while you're making a little bit of income for your services. So if you are potentially going out here doing everything that I'm telling you to do, then you should be turning your medical courier business to a digital medical courier business. And what I did was inside of day 5, and then you also get access to, come on, right now, why is it tripping? Also, through day 1 through 4, I guess it's not coming up on day 5. I don't know why, but you have homework that is here at the bottom, right here. See that homework? Inside of here, you have everything that is referenced in the 5-day challenge, but right now we're talking about the digital. I give you an ebook, an editable ebook that I have created that you can now sell, assuming that you did what you're supposed to be doing. I don't want anyone selling stuff that they're not actually doing. I mean, you can if you want to, but that's just not how I get down. I want to make sure that you are sharing your own experience of what is actually working. And then if you're doing everything I'm telling you to do, then you're going to be able to sell the same ebook. I give you my ebook, so all you got to do is change your name, meaning it's not going to be by Leela Brown, it's going to be by you. You're going to change the banding, the branding colors, which is the first page, and then you're going to also change the title. After that, you can sell your now ebook for $27. You share with your friends and family for starters, and that way you can start to build some digital income, while also I feel like this will help motivate you to keep going. For me, it helped motivated me once I started posting on social media. And mind you, I wasn't even had the intention of selling. I just had the intention of making sure I stayed accountable. I stayed consistent. So I was started to post online, and so I told myself, if I ever stop, people are going to start asking me, why did you stop? And now I don't want to let them down. I don't mind letting me down. I know that sounds crazy, but I had to make sure that I stayed committed. So I started posting online, and one thing led to another. I started coaching, but nonetheless, I got to my goal and I did not want to stop because I had knew that I would get excited, go to somebody's, class and be like, I want to do this. And then about a couple of weeks later, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it anymore. And I told myself I didn't want to do that again. Actually, my husband called me out for it. I was just like, wait a second. This is true, but I don't like that. But I use it as constructive criticism. And I can truly say that the reason why I got as far as I have in business was because he helped me. So if you're not gonna have a spouse or partner, let your social media family keep you accountable and consistent. Monique says, I got into Lifetime. Awesome. Congratulations. Um, Let me add you again, Denise. Denise, let me ask you a question. Are you doing this on your phone? And then also, I want to know, are you already in a school community? That's what I want to know. Like, do you already have a school community? And then Monique, I got you. I'm about to grab your email next. Let me do this next. Um, okay, give me 1 second. I think I know what the problem is. Okay, welcome Eduardo to the community. Please check your email. And then Morris, please check your email. Okay, so Marcia says, in your free community and using phone only. Marcia, everyone that's inside of the school community, whether it's the free or paid, once you've gotten into the school community and you've logged in and you can see yourself in here, or you can see in here, everything that I'm saying, you can go on your phone and get the school SKOOL app. You can get the app on your iPad and then use the same sign-in credentials, your email and your password, and now you have school on your phone. Now you have school on your iPad. Only thing on your desktop, you won't need an app. You'll just be logging into school.com and then you'll put in all your information and boom. So just know that you can have access to be able to watch and take action on your phone or iPad. Denise says, yes, I did use my phone, and yes, I have a school community. Okay, so if you already have a school community, I want you to go in right here, and the Lab Academy should be right here. Can you verify, please? Denise, when you get a chance. Okay, everybody else is in. Denise, stand by. I got you. I think we're good. All right, so was there one more thing I needed to do? I think there was one more thing I wanted to do. No, I think I did everything. Oh, that's what I need to do. All right, I need to announce the top three that got in lifetime. Remember I said when you get in for lifetime, the first three, I'm going to give you a free one-on-one strategy call. A free one-on-one strategy call. That's for the first three. All right, I'm about to name them who got in. And let me close this out because I can't see nothing. There's too much stuff on my screen. Okay, let me just open up my email. I don't know why my computer is moving so slow. Okay, one strategy call. Book now. Okay, so the three people who got in, the first three people who got in, it's going to be, why I don't see no name by you? Oh, Otis. Congratulations, Otis. Congratulations, Otis. I'm about to send you, I'm about to send you access, or I should say access. My calendar. So congratulations, Otis. My computer is moving so slow. The next person who got in, I think this is L. Washington. I don't have a name by you. Yep, there's no name, but I got you. Congratulations. I'm about to send. There we go. I'm about to send the email so you can book your call. And then the last person who got in, drum roll, is going to be, I don't know the name, but it is EM 3535. Congratulations. You unlocked a strategy one-on-one call with me next week. So go ahead and book it. as soon as you can so we can lock in the dates. All right, so let me go back to the chat and make see if Denise got in. Latika, is that you? I got you. Thank you. Welcome. All right. So Denise, you're still having problems? So you don't see this email at all from Yahoo? Because I do know that Yahoo be tripping sometime. Nope. Okay, give me 1 second. Can you give me another email? Possibly. Can you give me another email, please? What is this, Matthew? You want this? You want to get inside the free community? Free zone. Yes, this is the free zone. Matthew. Yes. Um, thank you, Denise. Let's see if this will work. I don't know. Sometimes it always happens to at least one person. School just be one to act crazy. Okay, can you go ahead and check? Probably give it a few minutes, Denise. Otis, I see that you signed up. Keep in mind that maybe 10, 15 minutes before the call, I'm gonna send you a Zoom link. So because this call, it's gonna be via Zoom. I'm gonna share my screen. Um, yeah, but it says it's a Zoom call. Yeah. I don't know why it didn't come with the other email. Um, David says, I did not get your invite. Uh, to what? Is it because you joined the Lab Academy 2.0 that you paid for, or are you talking about the free version? Oh, the calendar? Got you. All right, let me see. What's your email, David? Can you put it in the chat for me just to make it easier? Latika, I got you. I got you. David, can you put your email in the chat, please? Just to make life easier for me. Gotcha. I'm gonna send it again. This time, can you check your spam or spam or junk as well as your promotional folder? I don't know why I be going over there sometime. Um, okay. Wait, hold on. Why did it do that? My computer's tripping. I haven't sent it yet. Give me 1 second. There it goes. Okay. Go ahead and check it for me. David, please. Everyone else got in? Are we good? Let me get your membership. Watch the replay. Where are we at? Where are we at? There it goes. Join the free community. You said, let me see what you say. Eduardo says, please add me. Add you to what? Because I'm talking about a lot of stuff. You have to close other tabs to run faster with the current tabs. Man, I got so many tabs open and back here. Um, what am I adding you to, Eduardo? Yes, can you verify? Are you talking about the free class? Or are you talking about the community? I think you're talking about the paid community, right? Got it. It came in the spam. Yes. Okay, got awesome. I got you, Eduardo. Please, I just sent it. Can you please check your spam and promotional folder as well? Kawan says hold. So I'm in Atlanta and based out of Atlanta, but have family in LA. Can I do that right? If you're focusing on the business side, then yeah, you can have them run routes and you're in Atlanta. Honestly, anyone, if you're on the business side, like Michelle, she is I think she's in South Carolina, but she has several states that she's contracted in, and she just hire people to run that in that state. And for you, then you land a contract in California, then you have them run it. Most definitely. That goes for anyone. You don't have to sit there and stick in your state. Most people just start in their state, but you can venture off. Um, It's because the goal is for us to get a contract no matter where we're at. And then wherever the state performance is at, that's where we'll hire people. What type of commercial insurance do we need to drive our personal vehicle as a medical courier? Theona says. So me personally, I try to stay away from contracts that require me to have commercial insurance as a medical courier using my car because it's just too expensive. Now, let's say you are still interested and the companies require you to have commercial insurance. Before I get any commercial insurance, I'm going to first see how much is that contract being paid. Because if the contract is not worth it, then don't get the commercial insurance. Now, let's say it is worth it. Then you would go get a quote for whatever insurance that they are requiring you to get. Whatever's on that contract. You don't have to guess and figure out if it's the correct one. Nope, it's whatever's on that contract. My company is set up 5 years logistics. That's exactly what I have. Yep, you in the game. If you already have that, then you should be working on getting your business contract ready and um just making sure that you have everything on this checklist 1 through 9. And then once everything is correct, which you should already have everything, just making sure you just verify it. And then you go straight into Sam and then your state. So you can start bidding. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, Eduardo, did you find it? Let me see. It'll tell me if you're in here. Nope, you haven't found it. Not yet. Did you look in spam? Yeah, school be getting on my nerves sometimes. All right, did you look in spam and promotional folder? Let me resend it. How do I add a next code to an already established LLC? You're going to, I'm gonna be honest with